Hello everyone, Warhammer here. We are on episode 8 of our Ultimate Modded Dwarfs campaign as Thorgrim. We have wiped out the minor Chaos Dwarf faction over here, so that our clans, at least the southern part, are firmly under our control, although I just realized this now. We have Astragoth's faction just straight to the north of us. It looks like he wiped out the minor Greenskin faction and has been left the Lami Sisterhood alone. But I should remember that for now. But I think we were originally trying to bring Thorgrim down here to help fight the Greenskins. Looks like Skarsnik has pretty firm control of Carragate Peaks. Gorfang is still at war with Cazador, but we just confederated Zufbar. So we may have to be a little bit more cautious with our declarations and where we actually send our armies, but I'm not too worried about losing Carrick Dromar. It does have a landmark, but that we actually can't get it until it's tier 3. It'll be very good later on. But for now, I want to make sure we can hold on to Zufbar since it is the capital. It does not have a garrison yet. As far as Grimberlixen's army, we do have a fair amount of missile units, some good units. Great Weapon Dwarf Warriors are not that good unless we're facing Graveguard. But it would be nice to get some, like, Grudge Throwers. Crag the Grim, now facing a lot more armies from Gorbad. And we've got an army coming from the Deeps to attack Karazakarak in a few turns. So what exactly do we do with you? Okay, Gorbad is level 17. It looks like most of his skills have been put into his unique skill, so if they're rank 7, he can get some good bonuses, but we have a pretty good army ourselves. He just has a lot of units. His main army is mostly full of orc boys with spears. We have 3 runesmiths. We could get a regiment of renown. We could either do like the Axes of Nor, the Ironbreakers, or we take the Brotherhood of Grimnir. Just because they can do a ton of damage as long as we protect them. Yeah, I think I'll take the Slayers, actually. Especially since they're unbreakable as well. We'll think if we want to attack that right away. But, military convoy from the Chaos Dwarves. We'll be able to get some money from them. They have to join against Carrick Jones. That's good for us. With our Stonehammer leading the charge with some Dragon Company. He does get bonuses for on his leadership versus Greenskins and Chaos Dwarves, so that helped out in both of that. But we need to start giving him a more complete army. He has some Quarrelers, Clockwork Thunderers, some artillery. I think we get some blasting charges since we don't have access to our full roster, and we'll go for Timber here. I think Timber was the other resource we needed for Rune Golems. Yeah, it is Timber. Okay. The Shard Dragon, we just need to get our Runesmith higher in order to get the Runic Collar and their Master Rune Awakening. And to build the Shard Dragon building, it costs 8,000, so it is quite expensive. So we'll have to get to that at some other time, I think. Let's look at trade real fast. The Western Provinces, if I join one of their wars,
beneficial discussion.
do the Blessed Dread. They'll pay us almost 3,000 along with the trade agreement. That's a very good deal for us. We canceled our non-aggression with Scrag. Because I don't want to get too friendly with the ogres. Thorgrim. With our southern flank secure, I think we go after the north. Oh, looks like Ungrim is pretty close to wiping out Azag. Or we're being Thorgrim to fight the vampires. And some more greenskins out here.
Send me to
I don't really know. I think we go after the Chaos Doors, actually. We're at full health, so I don't need to worry about replenishment. Yeah, I just want to protect this stuff so we can actually build it up and start making some money off of it. But Mountain Goonbad, let's level up your Overseer. We want to go construction bonuses once we have some more skills. Grimberlixon, we didn't level up your heroes at all yet. So we have 2 on increased mobility. Let's go for more missile strength. Oh, this is our Brewmaster, actually. Let's do the increased range on Quarlers and replenish troops. And our Thane, training, and melee defense. Okay, Tordric can actually make it into a battle, so I think we do try to take the battle to where we're at, especially since he's in March Dance for that reduced vigor. So we do need to make room for Tordric. What do we want to get rid of? We have a lot of melee power. 3 hammers, the Brotherhood of Grimnir, and Grudge Settler Slayers. I think we can get rid of 1 Dwarf Warrior. Let's just do the one that has the least amount of experience, which I think is that one.
Grimnir is with us.
And Crag the Grim also has the Master in a Spy right now.
For Kara's Anchor.
Now we do have an Iron Warden's Tankard to replace. We would have to replace Crag's Runestaff in order to get that healing, but it's probably worth it with him having the Master in a Spite, because this gives some flame and spell resist, which isn't a big deal against greenskins, and the melee defense and fire resist. Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, we'll do that. And we've got pretty much all of his ancillaries filled with banners, so we'll be good on that front. Level up Uther. Inspirational Leader. And do we want reduced attrition or ambush defense chance? Probably, I don't know, maybe ambush defense chance. Scarsnake does get access to Stalking Stance. We'll do that. Runesmith, starting to get some of your unique stuff. Actually, let's get Forge Fire first. The armor reduction is pretty nice. Thane. Actually, we should save for points for up there. That is a very good unique skill line for the Thanes. And Morty Forkbeard. Do we have something else with Guardian right now? I don't think so. So let's get Guardian for Morty Forkbeard.
What's your orders?
Saving that point. Okay. So we're saving growth for Mount Goonbad. Upgrading this would just give us just more capacity for Bugman's throwers and better control. I'm trying to remember, no, I was gonna say, I couldn't remember if full control actually gave bonuses to income. I think that's just for the high elves. We will upgrade our engineering line though. And real quick, let's also upgrade the Pillars of Grugni. Let's get some more money production going out here. Get that marble. And is there anything good over here I can get right away? No. Not really on that one. What about on this side? We can get some over here. We're going to go full oath gold production. On Thorgrim skill, let's get the bonuses versus chaos, since that is going to benefit our war against Astrogoth. Master Engineer, let's get a final point in attention to detail. It's a slight boost to your missile damage and range. My Brewmaster is immortal now. Sweet. Let's do Practice Makes Perfect, just reduces the cooldowns on some of his abilities.
The High King acts.
Up to the north,
Begin.
Throg has left us alone for now. Garrison is built up. I should get it to the second tier, though. Alright, it's just Crag the Grim, then. So let's take a look at his Wa army. Okay, 3 bolt throwers, 3 orc boys, a lot of goblin archers. Not too much melee infantry. But he does get the settlement garrison to help as well. And there's a lot of melee infantry up there. What's our map going to be like? Okay, we can kind of use the terrain to our advantage right there, I think. Let's just make sure all of our runes are equipped. So this rune of battle gives leadership, melee attack, and bonus versus infantry. We already have a bonus versus infantry, 15. Maybe we just put it on these slayers. Although the extra leadership is probably more useful on something else. So put it on quarrelers, just in case they get dragged into melee. Let's actually put the Rune of Stoicism on our Brotherhood of Grimnir. That way they get bonus versus large and bonus versus infantry. Okay. Sounds good. Let's go into it. Dwarf army, we have the high ground. Nice little hill to build our defensive line around. Gorbad does have quite the army on the other side. He has a full army of orc boys with spears, plus a Wa army and some settlement garrison units. But it looks like he's actually waiting for us to attack since we made the initiative. But that is going to be a huge mistake, because our artillery already starting to throw some down, and here comes Gorbad's death. He Tron torpedoes. Well, these gyrocopters are anti-large, so they will absolutely wreck him. But we'll come and take a look at our front line for a little bit. So Crag the Grim leads a pretty solid army, some dwarf warriors holding up the front, along with 2 runesmiths and Tordric Ironheart. But Crag the Grim also has the Master of Respite and some great support abilities. We've got 4 quarrelers, 2 bolt throwers, and bugman's throwers, so got some keg throwers. 2 hammers with dual weapons and 1 grudge settle hammer with great weapons. And some grudge settler slayers and the Brotherhood of Grimnir somewhere. The Regiment of Renown Doomseekers, who are absolute chads. They will demolish anything that gets in their way. But let's take a look over here. The Trevor Torpedo just absolutely rocking these guys. Gorbat, okay, now we started to advance. Oh, that's not going to be enough. He is just going to get absolutely demolished. It looks like they're waiting for the reinforcements to come in too. But they should be hurrying, because they are not going to survive long if they don't advance, since we have so much advantage on the range side. But some goblin archers starting to get some shots off. Gorbad down to about quarter HP. About a tenth of his HP now after that. But after taking some fire from the goblin archers, we decided to pull back a little bit. While the gyrocopters do have over 100 armor, massed range fire from goblin archers is still going to do some damage despite having very low armor piercing. they can always get lucky. That's the advantage of mass archers, is you find the little gaps in armor. But looks like the settlement garrison actually started out as a part of the starting army. And Gorbad's Wa is actually second, so unfortunately he's not going to get his cavalry or his artillery right away, which is to our benefit. Let's see if we can get one last volley here. Boom! Gorbad goes down. Didn't even get any value whatsoever. With our target taken out, we are going to retreat with the gyrocopters. We don't want to sit there and take all that ranged fire. But now it is our turn to actually just throw out numbers, but not numbers of orcs or infantry, but numbers of artillery. Bolt throwers and quarrelers pretty soon. We are trying to target down the orc boys in the front, try to soften them up a bit before they get in range of our quarrelers, so we can just deal with them quickly, not have to fight huge blobs of infantry. But they have a fair amount of units going around the backside. This defensive spot is pretty good, but they can come around, so we've left our hammers and slayers over to deal with that. The Brotherhood of Grimnir. Absolute chads. I love their glowing rune tattoos. They have sweet animations as well. Chains on axes, or axes on chains, I guess. Got a little we should name them like Kratos or something. That's if we get some other Doomsakers, we'll nickname them after God of War. But Gyro Bombers, getting a few shots off on some squigs over here. We'll speed it up a little bit since we are just waiting for them to come to us for the most part. Alright, now they're starting to get in range of us. Just absolute carnage coming down. They're just falling like flies to our crossbows. And our bolt throwers now targeting some of the archers in the back. So our quarrelers can work on these guys in the front. Gyrocopters going to come in for a little bombing run right here. Those big globs of orc boys. And some biggins, if we can get the biggins, that would be nice, because those guys are a little bit more dangerous. 61 kills so far, but they've got 2,400 value from taking out Gorbad. But the front lines are getting close enough for our rune magic to come into play. Wrath Ruin from 3 different casting characters. We have 2 runesmiths and Crag the Grim, who has come into melee over here. He's a pretty sweet character. So something that's interesting about him is that this mod doesn't quite show it in the lore. So he has his rune staff and his hammer, but his rune staff is actually supposed to have a minotaur head on it, which is pretty cool. But looks like there's a blast coming in. And Crag the Grim is throwing out Master into Death, so that causes fear. And a huge melee attack boost for us. On this side, let's check out some of our hammers though. This will be our first opportunity really to show these guys off against a stronger target. The dual hammers, nice charge there. Charges downhill, so we'll get a little bit more of a bonus that. But squigs coming in, 7 goblin archers trying to get some shots. We have our gyrocopters in the back, trying to take out some of those archers that have run away. But squigs can actually do some damage, but they aren't going to get their charge bonus since they're charging uphill through their own guys. Dwarf warriors will still hold up pretty good. We have the Rune of Oath and Still and Rune Speed going down, alternating with our runesmiths. Crag the Grim does also have the Mastering of Spite, so he is wearing these guys down a little bit by a little bit. The Brotherhood of Grimnir showing off their skills. These guys will absolutely wreck everything. Oh, some archers coming in though from the greenskins. Just look at them reap those kills very, very quickly. They are... Let's see if I can find their icon. They're already over 120 kills. Let's see how their Wards of Grimnir is building up. Almost at max already. 20% ward save plus their massive defensive bonuses. And combat skills are just going to make them basically unkillable. But we're targeting down the enemy greenskins right now, or the archers, I mean, the goblin archers. Master Rune of Death going down on these hammers, pumping up their melee attack to over 100. They are just absolutely wrecking face in these guys, just see them demolish them. Even though they're surrounded, these guys are just absolutely tanking all this. That 118 armor is really holding up to anything these guys can throw at us. The spears don't have a lot of armor piercing. Big uns can do some damage, but I think we were able to rout them off before they could get close. Yeah, they are coming back though. Now some of the last bits of the war are coming in. The 3 things of orc boys and some goblin bolt throwers. But this army isn't in the settlement, so if we just win the battle, we actually don't have to worry about wiping anything out. But some orc cavalry are coming in. See if they can actually charge through their own guys. Gyrocopters coming in for another bombing run. Our front lines are holding up really, really well. On the far side, they have managed to slip some units through, so I'm actually managed to get on top of some of my bolt throwers right here. But the Brotherhood and Grimnir are coming back with a vengeance. They will absolutely shred these guys. We have our Grudge Slayers and Hammers on that side. Dual weapons taking these guys out, but Brotherhood of Grimnir are just so fun to watch. The chain axes are awesome. I'm not sure if they have splash attacks. If their weapon strength is over 100, and they do actually. Looks like not quite. They have 59 weapon strength, so they don't have any don't have any splash attacks, but they still do massive damage. And Gorbad's Wah is just no match for dwarf firepower. That actually went very surprisingly well for us. I think if they'd come at us all at once, it would have been very different. It's like Bugman's throwers did some work, almost 700 kills. Hammers as well. Hammers with the anti-infantry dual weapons rocked it. Same with the Brotherhood of Grimnir. They freaking did very, very well. Barely lost a few guys, most of the stuff in the back line. Or the guys that were on the side, and then some of these hammers that chased a little bit too far, but... Yeah, if Gorbad had stayed alive early, because taking him out really, really quickly with the gyrocopters with troll torpedoes made that battle much, much easier. We have full control of the province now. Sweet. Okay, but Barrack Farm might get attacked. Craig Grim. I still want to get this. Let's get one last point into Kingsguard. Reduce our upkeep and recruitment costs. Do casualty replenishment. Christmas did a lot of work too. Let's get the extra magic item drop chance and further reduce cooldowns on runes. You're not quite there yet, so in the meantime we'll just do Rune of Hearth and Home. Actually, no, we should do this one. Let's do Wardbreaker, and then we'll save the other points for up here. Our Brewmaster. Let's get a special brew. Oh, that's right. We're waiting with you. And Tordric does have some hammers in this army now, so this gives them more damage and armor piercing. This one gives them slightly more bonus versus large. So we'll do that. But as soon as this is finished, we can go and recruit some Rune Guardians. I just need to remember I have to increase their capacity. So we'll need 5,000 gold for that. And then we'll need 8,000 for this. I think we can make that money up like next turn. Or at least close to it. We just can't lose our salt mine right there.
Master Engineer action.
Dismount aggression pack with what else? No, we don't do that. We do not make peace with a tree algae. Get a military alliance with Karl Franz. Oh wow. Looks like they're not doing. No, they're doing okay. Reichland would
Greetings
pay
from
us.
Sigma.
I don't want to actually want to do that with some of these guys. I actually might.
Commands me to listen.
I know. I feel like just breaking off our treaties with him actually, because we don't make deals with Scrag the Slaughterer. Goldtooth is kind of a maybe. Yeah, we'll do that. It'd be fun to have ogres as an enemy too. Since we'll get a bunch of slayers to take them on. Alright, sounds like a plan. Let's go to the next turn. Yeah, I should look at Astrogoth and see who he is at war with. Because after we defeated his first couple of armies, we haven't seen him a whole lot, but he may be fighting a war up in the north. Or against, like,
All
Grimgor or
here
something.
are honored.
Actually... Oh no, we already got our trinket for the Runeforge from allying with Averland before. Even though they got destroyed, we already have the trinket from that. Dang it, I wasn't able to get there fast enough. Although... These are low-level lords who only have... Like, they're literally like level 1 or 2. And the rest of the stuff isn't that bad. We can probably actually win this. Yeah, we'll just use our control points and the towers to do most of the work, taking out the skeletons. We'll try to use our wall towers and corridors to take out, like, the Cryptors and the Corpse Cart and the Vampire Lord. This guy we don't care about, but... I think we can actually win this. We'll see. At least the initial battle. Zufbar are trying to be defended. Unfortunately, we don't have a Lord here. Or a garrison upgrade. And 2 vampires are coming in, but luckily they're all just full of skeletons. I think there's 2 Crypt Ghouls in total, and some Cryptors. So on the far side, we stuck all 3 of our Corridors up here, trying to get some early kills on the Cryptors, trying to get them low. They are taking a fair amount of fire, but they have got an Invocation of the Heck down from the Master Necromancer, and Regeneration. So they are going to be quite hard to kill. But that's why we put all 3 of our ranged firepower over there. And we are just trying to shred them to bits. They've lost almost half their HP, but no models yet. We've stuck a few units on the walls and some of the other places just to get some damage out with the towers. But our entire plan is trying to get some early damage on these guys. And then fall back to our last control points. The leadership point and the victory location. Because that gives us a really nice choke point to force them to come attack us in blobs, and our dwarf infantry is going to be able to hold on against skeletons fairly well. Just barely starting to get on the walls now. Gonna run so we don't lose some guys out there. Corlers. Did we actually manage to get any kills? We got 6 of the Cryptors down. The other ones are going to start regenerating health, but they are crumbling for a little bit, so they'll continue to take some damage, even though... Oh, there goes a spell from the Master Necromancer. That brings their leadership just high enough to stop the crumbling. But now that we have kind of done what we intend to do, we're just going to pull all of our guys back right now. So we'll speed this up, because this is quite a long battle. I tried to make it entertaining as best I can. Dwarfs just retreating. We gotta fight in the choke points. That's something that the Dwarfs, I do wish, was a little bit more apparent with their siege maps, is that they're closer choke points and not as much area for enemy archers to do some damage. I'd love to get like some traps or something. That'd be really cool. I think in the Neferata Blood of Nagash novel, when she is attacking the Silver Pinnacle, the Dwarfs actually have like a giant head over some of the doorways that will let lava through from some of the like volcanic caverns below. So really cool defensive traps that I wish Wish we could get some of that flavor in Total War Warhammer 3. We built up some of the minor towers around, just trying to get a few kills as things move in, but we're going to save most of our supplies and try to get this tier 4 tower as soon as we can. The vampire undead are taking their sweet time coming over here, so this will allow us to consolidate our forces and build up our defensive line. Even though the leadership point does give us extra melee defense, it is not quite worth it to try and defend that. It gives us 15% more, so as long as we hold that, we are getting an extra 6 on most units. Longbeards are going to be even better. They go up to 55, so another 7. But we'll do our best just to keep units alive. That's all we got to worry about. Just get a really strong defensive line here. Quarrelers up on top. We are going to save all of their ammunition for the prime targets. We have a Master Necromancer and a Vampire Lord. But there's also, besides the Crypt Horrors, I think there's 2 units of Crypt Ghouls, 1 unit of Graveguard, and a Corpse Cart coming in somewhere. Looks like they're just barely getting it through now that the gates have been opened. But that is a prime target because we want to eliminate any buffs that thing can give. So up front, we've got our Dwarf Warriors, along with some Longbeards and Dwarf Great Weapons ready to pounce out. We are literally just waiting for them to come to us. We need them to break upon our shore like water at rock. As Theoden would say from Helm's Deep. We'll be able to do quite well. Our vigor is pretty strong, and our defenses are strong enough that hopefully the skeletons can't get through our defenses very easily. And our melee attack, even though it's not great on the normal Dwarf Warriors, we should still be able to do quite a bit of damage. Skeleton Warriors without spears have a little bit less melee defense from what I can remember. Yeah, so the spears have 41 melee defense. These guys have 30. So we're just going to rely on the tower to do most of our damage. But they're starting to capture our point already. Crypt Horrors coming in. Speed this last little bit up. So yes, we are going to spend our very valuable ammunition and limited ammunition on trying to take out these MVP targets. The Vampire Lord's probably the biggest threat, just because of his very good stats and armor, and the shield makes him a little bit hard to take down with crossbows. So we're going to do our best actually to use our ammunition on the Crypt Ghouls. Crypt Ghouls can be quite a nuisance with that poison and high melee attack and weapon strength. Weapon strength, not too much armor piercing, but they're still going to be able to get through our guys. The Master Necromancer, he is a target we want to take out early. He has like no armor, and he's still a big enough target we can hit him. But the reason we want to target him down as soon as possible, he has access to Master of the Dead. So as more units around him die, he will give a passive heal to any undead around. So if we do not take him out early, he's just going to make these units last forever. But Quarrelers targeting the Crypt Ghouls. On the far side, the Graveguard are starting to trickle in. There's only 1 unit of Graveguard, luckily. Skeletons can still be a nuisance, especially since there's thousands of them. I think in total, they have around almost 6,000 units. Yeah, 50, 60, almost 5,700 in total. But Longbeards helping out with Encourage, just giving some extra leadership. Yeah, Master Necromancer doesn't really do a lot of damage, but he will get kills if he gets lucky, simply because his weapon strength is so high in the character. But the Vampire Lord, we're trying to do a little bit of damage with them. Right now it's just the Dwarf Warriors, but we have brought in the Longbeards and the Dwarf Warriors with great weapons to go after these characters, because the great weapons will actually have the armor piercing to get through his 90 armor. The Longbeards, their weapon strength isn't amazing, but they have slightly better armor piercing than Dwarf Warriors. Well, actually, it's around the same. I guess they just get higher melee attack, better stats, I guess, because they're still wielding the same basic axes, but the great weapons will do some damage. Yeah, that Mr. Necromancer is almost crumbling. With one more volley, he should go down. Yes, one hero down. That's the most important one. The Vampire Lord does not have any healing abilities outside of Invocation of the Hack, and I think they've already used most of their magic. So with that down, we're going to try to reform our lines, rotating some fresh Dwarf Warriors, some fresh Dawi, while our other guys pull back and start to get some of their vigor back. But they have captured every other control point, so we cannot lose this one. Cryptors just sitting back. I think they've hit their regen cap for the amount of models they have left. Corpse cart starting to come in. It is not a corpse cart with a lodestone, so it doesn't provide any passive heals. But it does provide a massive melee boost and vigor for any undead, so we want to make sure we take it out before it gets over close to our battle line. Trying to use some of these Coilers, get some more damage on the Vampire Lord since he was not facing the Coilers. That way we avoid his shield. But he's still doing pretty good. The Grave Guard have joined in. Vampire Lord has got 17 kills already. But he's almost at half health. Our tower not doing very great. We are trying to target the Graveguard since they're the more heavily armored target, but some of the towers are pretty inaccurate, so I'm not getting a whole lot of DPS with that right now. Coilers, we have decided to hold fire until this corpse cart becomes a little bit closer, where we can position our guys where they can actually get a good angle and not hit the Dawi statue. But yeah, corpse cart. 45 armor, and it is super slow, so it is just going to be a pincushion. And it looks like it's having trouble actually getting up there. Zombie cart pullers are just barely moving. The Necromancer in the back. Can't whip the zombies hard enough, apparently. And we're starting to get some more focus fire. It's coming into our range. We did move closer just a little bit to get inside our calibration range, so we're more accurate. But yeah, big volley right there. Almost a fourth of his HP just with that volley. But more skeletons moving in. It looks like the AI is not completely dumb, as it is keeping some of its units outside, so they're not just in a huge blob taking fire from the tower. But the corpse cart is crumbling now, so it will go down. Last volley does some pretty good damage. Brought in the fresh great weapon, Dawi, to take on the Vampire Lord. The Vampire Lords actually have sweet armor. I think that's one of the best design things that Warhammer Fantasy did in Total War, interpreting that. He's still going to get some pretty good skills. He's got really high weapon strength, so he can kill models pretty much with every swing. Maybe not every swing, since the Dwarfs do have quite a bit higher HP per entity. But that tower is doing some sweet damage. They don't have any ranged units or flying things to be able to attack our tower, so this is free to shoot as long as possible. I'll speed it up just a little bit right now. So if you're just waiting on this Dwarf Lord to die, the Vampire Lord, he is starting to go down. Very low health. He has started to crumble, less than 300. He'll go down very, very quickly. With that, hopefully that's enough to drop the leadership of some of these vampire units. The bad thing about letting them capture all these points is they get a lot of momentum, which is going to boost their leadership quite a bit, actually. So they're getting an extra 7 leadership, which is amazing for them, and a huge boost to their melee attack. So not a lot we can do right now, but hopefully once we clear out this little bit right here, we'll be able to take back some of the other points and reduce that leadership vigor and melee attack bonus. But we're kind of taking the Roman battle line strategy. Every once in a while, swapping over guys, let them get their vigor back. These are the Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. Did take some damage trying to kill that Vampire Lord, but for the most part, we're still healthy. Coilers saving the last little bit of their ammunition. We have taken out the Crypt Ghouls, at least one of them. the 2 characters, and the corpse cart, so it's just this as our main threat. Crypt ghouls can really be nasty since we don't have any anti-large in these armies, so we have to make sure we are able to deal with them succinctly. But have all these supplies building up, unfortunately can't really do anything with it at the moment, so we're just gonna fast forward once we get to a little bit more exciting part. Yeah, this tower is gonna get so many kills. Like, looking at our actual guys, we got 34 kills on them, 75, 35, so we're actually not doing that much damage as far as kills. It's the Undead. It looks like most of their deaths are going to come from crumbling or from the cannon tower. Units getting some of their vigor back. Active. So, we got some fresh units there. But front line still holding out okay. Really key for this battle is going to be our Longbeards, though. If you do not know, Longbeards actually have the Encourage trait, so it will provide leadership to nearby units, especially if we have a lore that has died. That can come really in clutch. So we got one back covering its vigor while the other one's pushed forward. Some skeleton dudes are still just barely making their way in. Looks like a little bit of an AI bug there as they try to come in and out of the gates. But they're just waiting their turn. That's all the AI is doing. Right, this front line is actually starting to crumble, so once that goes down, we actually may take this opportunity to retake this leadership point and get that leadership and melee defense boost back. Looks like it's basically just the Graveguard that are holding up the leadership of the points over here. Okay, they've got 29 models left. They are crumbling, though. So I think once the Graveguard go down, the rest of the stuff should crumble. Yep. With no Necromancer to support them, Undead are no match for Dawi, but they still have an insane amount of units. We have dealt significant blows, but they still have 3,500 guys against our 850, which we're losing. Our Dwarfs are finally getting worn down a little bit. No healing, no Brewmaster over here, unfortunately, but Tower's been doing some good work. Even though we did recruit some or build some of the smaller towers across the other place, we have left some of the other ones vacant. So if we take back the points, we can build new towers. And we are starting to take back this leadership point. Getting that will be really, really nice. I think that's when they will start to send in some more units after us. Once they realize we have the advantage once again. This, yeah, the settlement towers are pretty awful. They have pretty terrible accuracy. But Cryptors are coming in, so we've moved our Coilers ready to intercept them and load these guys to smithereens, fill them with quarrels, with crossbow bolts. Cryptors are a really cool unit too. So if you guys didn't know, they're actually ghouls that have been given vampiric blood. So they're kind of like a hybrid vampire. Because ghouls are actually not undead in the lore. They are humans, which have been corrupted by cannibalism and warpstone to become the really nasty things they are. And so after they become crypt ghouls, they are given a little bit of vampire blood and they turn into cryptors. So they get roided out. And they get regen and things like that. So they're pretty nasty, but yeah. That's why we saved that last little bit of ammunition, was to take those guys out. We have ran out of ammunition on our normal Coilers. Our great weapons still have 3 more volleys left. But we get a little bit overzealous here, trying to take back some of the points. I thought most of the undead on this side had ran away, but I completely forgot about this other path that can come up right here. So these great weapons are going to capture some points back. With the leadership point under our control, we've built a tier 4 tower there. Try to get some more value over here. On this front, we're doing pretty well so far. We're just kind of waiting for the undead to start filtering in. Siege tower is actually getting some good hits right there. For a while, it always has trouble with this door statue right there. Sign up some Longbeards, try to capture this point as well. Longbeards are absolutely going to wreck these spearmen though. With 55 melee defense, they really just have a very low chance of getting through our defenses at all. Like we're barely taking any damage. And this is fast forwarded too, so that's lets you know how good Longbeards are. Trying to get that tower, some support over here. But on the far side, yeah, these great weapons got the settlement back, and we did try to build some of these barricades a little bit, but fortunately they did not have enough support with all those undead coming up the far side. So they will slowly start to lose. They don't have nearly the melee defense of the regular guys, but still at 36 it's pretty good against the 17 melee attack. But our two quarrelers that have used up their ammunition, they're going to come try to help the great weapons out, but we've got some more units coming around. So the great weapons are going to get surrounded, unfortunately. So we actually lose the tower that we were building right there. Longbeards over here didn't quite make it onto the point. They're just trying to get through these skeletal spearmen, but it looks like we do have some zombies actually coming up the back. On the front side, actually taking a fair amount of damage still. Tower is able to do some damage, but we pulled them back a little bit. That's why we took some more damage. Just trying to get them to a point where the tower isn't hitting this terrain right there. Because that's really where our victory is going to come from, is getting these towers to be able to get some shots in for the area of effect damage. Dwarf Warriors, 146 kills, 172 on them. Quarrelers, only 100, but a lot of their value came from going after characters. Our Dwarf Great Weapons actually gave up. Getting attacked on both sides does not help. Over here, though, the Quarrels will still hold up pretty good. So they don't have quite the melee defense that normal Dwarf Warriors would have, but they still have pretty good stats. And we're getting some bonuses from Siege Defender and the unit rank, which is pretty good. It's going to be a slow victory. Might actually be a lot closer than we thought, simply from the fact that they have so many numbers. So their units are going to be able to fight with good vigor for a long time. Ours are getting pretty tired, exhausted on most of them. We are trying to support over here. Great weapons. Ooh, about to break actually. They've got one leadership left. Getting a fair amount of kills though. That's pretty good. It looks like this flank is almost completely secure. Over here, we have got surrounded again with Spire Quarrelers with the skeletal spearmen. The Longbeards did really well against the other skeletal spearmen, but now they're getting attacked in the back. It has forced them to fight on both sides. So they are taking more damage because of that, because when you're attacked in the rear, your melee attack is lowered quite a bit on that side. So these skeletal spearmen are able to get a few attacks in on these Longbeards. Got some funny units out there still. Because some of our units started to take a fair amount of damage, and some are actually close to routing, we try to pull them back and group them up here. That way our tower on that side has a clear line of sight in this one as well. But I really love Dwarf, or at least not necessarily Dwarf, but Underway maps. I think they actually have a really, really cool map design. You'll see lava. And the Underway battles, the interception battles are really cool too. They have some really cool like visuals of decrepit tunnels that have fallen into ruin since the Dwarfs lost complete control of the Underway with the Age of O's. Ooh, big charge here by the Skeleton Warriors into our rear, actually. We'll do a fair amount of damage and actually break these Dwarf Warriors because of that. Yeah. Attacked in the rear, minus 14 leadership. Wait, why are we getting a leadership penalty? You see that? Lord recently died, minus 2. What Lord? Our Longbeards are both alive, so I don't know what that penalty is coming from. Skeletons, barely holding on. They still have a fair amount of extra leadership from momentum. And over here, our Quarrelers bit off a little bit more than they could chew. One has routed already, and the other one's just about to rout. Our Dwarf Warriors with Great Weapons coming around for a little bit of a charge, but On this side, we have finished off the skeletal spearmen, so now it is just zombies. So even though we're super fatigued and low HP, we'll be able to take these guys out without too much of an issue. And it looks like that's finally the leadership breaking point. Well, quite a long siege battle. But we did what we thought we would. We won. We let the towers do the work. Luckily, not a lot of the units are actually going to come back. But there is another army at Castle Drakenhof, I thought. Yep. Can we win that one? I don't know. With how much damage we took, probably not. Especially with another hero here. And this guy is higher level. So, unfortunately, I think we gotta call it quits on the second one. But Eric, Grim Burlickson is pretty close to where we can hopefully take that back. Our Ogre allies, so no, we're not allies yet. Cazador, join the war against Gorfang, not right now, for 800. Oh, okay, well, maybe I should have taken the 800 then. Okay, that opens up the southern front a little bit now.
Let us begin.
Right. How many settlements does Helpit have left? Oh, it's just Helpit, actually. Because that has slowly pushed them out. Okay, got some quests finished.
Yes.
We'll do this one first. Then we'll do, once it's done, then we will build the other stuff. This will reduce the construction cost by 2% more. What we do want to do though, in Karazakarak, now we have 8,000. Let's get our deeps with the Shard Dragon. Okay, we got one more turn before we can recruit any of our Rune Golems. But our Rune Overseer. Physical resists. We can go up here. I think we just want to go for this one and get another engineer. So next time he levels up.
I'll cast the runes.
Crag the Grim. Did we send Crag the Grim north to help fight the vampires? I think that would be good, actually. We'll see how this goes down here first. Oh, that's actually a decent army. I think we actually tried to get an ambush on him. Did you get really good ambush? Oh, we don't have the skill yet. You get the higher ambush success chance, but with the garrison there, we should be able to hold them off. Thorgrim, we'll keep moving against. Oh, come on, we're just barely out of range. Well, do we send Thorgrim south now that Gorfang is at war with us? Probably. Yeah, we'll worry about the Chaos Dwarves later. We can get a Dragon Slayer though. Let's do that. Oh, we need money. We finish this guy off right now. Oh, there's a second army there. A close victory. This army has more large units, but we've got the artillery and stuff to kind of take it out. The giants aren't actually a huge issue, especially with the Trollhammer torpedo gyrocopters. So we took quite a bit of damage in the auto resolve though. Want the money for right now. And Crag the Grim, you're gonna march back to Vranka Hills to heal up and hopefully get the public order over here under control. Level 20 though, sweet. So let's get Renowned and Feared, and then we'll go down. We've got 2 Runesmiths, so let's spend his skills instead of Runline skills, since that's going to help out the army more. Runesmiths. Spell resist. Spell resist hasn't been a huge issue right now. Let's go for Ward Breaker. Get those enemy resistances down. And our Ranger, Bugman's Ale. Let's do Hawk's Precision as well for the extra damage boost on himself. This Runesmith. Do want to get the extra magic item drop chance. And Tordric Ironheart. Terror when fighting against Skaven. Terror when fighting against Greenskins. Let's go for that. Oh no, we want to go up here. Too late.
Can I help you?
Get some Dragon Slayers. Right. Gazul gives us minus corruption and fear. Ooh, Ancestral Blood of Morgrim. So bonuses for artillery. And research rate and accuracy. That's amazing. Probably send this one down towards Thorgrim. So down here. And Thugni is also really good. Old Cold from buildings and spell resist. Yeah, so for the Slayer traits, they have all these possible traits they can get by slaying famous monsters. So, like the lower tier, you have trolls and minotaurs, but then as you fight like Ragnarok spiders, Shaggoths, mammoths, we'll get some really cool traits. And I need to save some money for the Forge next turn, when we can actually get some Rune Guardians. Rest of this stuff, Crickback Mountain. Spend a little money out here. I'm not going to spend any money in the north anymore because it's not quite as safe, but let's upgrade our marble. And actually we need 1,700 to do that. This will start producing some beer. Let's do that one first, actually. And over here, they didn't take Zufbar, so I'm actually going to go and occupy it. We're going to use the Underwaste. Oh, we're just barely shy of being able to make it. Dang. Even if I use the Underwaste stance, yeah, we're not close enough. So we'll just go into Oakenhammer to start. Garrison's a little bit healthier there. Then we'll go and try to defend Zufbar, if it comes down to it. Okay, recruit rank, construction for infrastructure, income from gem. Let's actually do this one. It's going to spend some of our old gold, that's okay.
Right, I'll tinker.
And the Master Rune of Spite, I don't think we necessarily need it down here anymore. Let's put it on Grimberlixen. How much armor do you have? You have 125. You have pretty good defensive stats. What about compared to the Thane? It's actually probably better on our Lord. The Thane isn't quite as tanky yet. Yeah, we'll give him that and some items. Oh, he already has all of his magic items. So what do you get from yours? Range and missile strength. Accuracy and missile resist for nearby units if they're a missile unit. Chance of interception. Increases cooldowns on enemy lords. That's also a good one. And a damage ability if you're on foot. Smith. Let's level up this Overseer real fast. Use construction costs for when we do eventually get enough growth. And that will be it for this turn. Unless there's some other war declarations we want to make. Maybe some wars up in the north to get some extra income. You do Archaon's faction. And
What is happening, pal?
okay, you're only at war with Wintertooth. About Kislev. Okay, we don't know who they're at war with. They're at war with the vampires. Actually, how far away is the Caravan of Blue Roses? They could attack the Black Fortress. So we'll wait on that one a little bit. We're already at war with both of your enemies. We can join war against the Broken Axe for Grom. A couple thousand right there. Right. They're only at war with... Oh, they're interesting. They're at war with Tamarkan. We can join... We can have Kislev join war. Let's join war against both of them.
A pleasure and an...
And I think that's about all we can do as far as make money. That gives us another couple thousand. Did we actually end up building the Shard Dragon thing? I hope we did. Yeah, we did. Okay. We need 8,000 to get to the Rune Golems.
All right, lads.
Right. Yeah, we'll end the turn there. And come back and recruit some Rune Golems at this.
Welcome, friends of the...
Nope, non-aggression, no. Kind of want to make Scrag our enemy. But maybe we should wait until we deal with the orcs in the World's Edge Mountains first. Now, I think with Crag the Grim, we got to decide what we want to do. Do we send him up north to help fight the vampires and... Oh, we're discovered? We get a close victory. We lose some Dwarf Warriors, but they're already damaged. I'm okay with that, actually. Because that army is kind of dangerous. We'll take the extra money. Okay, no attack by the vampire counts on Grim Burlixon. Alright, Pirates of Sartosa. Destroyed. Ooh, the Wasp succeeds. Dragon Lord's Chainmail for Uther Stonehammer. Oh, the enemies beneath are coming out soon. But that is a great spot to end episode 8, guys. We'll pick it up in episode 9. Get some of our Rune Golems. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.